Hi everyone, welcome to the Penguin Reading Room. I'm Sohali Khan, and the book that I wanted to share with all of you today is called Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zevin. It has been my summer vacation read. I packed it in my hand luggage and Kunal laughed at me saying, I bet you won't read it. And well, probably because of that, I made a point not only to read it, but to finish it on 2 long flights. So Mumbai to London, London to Los Angeles. I read this book. And in hindsight, I probably should have slept a little bit. But it is also testament to how good this book is that I just devoured it. And the reason that I chose this book is because it came highly recommended by someone who, their choices in literature really resonate with me. And she said it was well written. And even though it's essentially about the relationship between 2 gamers, it is not a book that just gamers would enjoy, which is true because I am definitely not a gamer, and I did love this book. So the title, Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow, is taken from Macbeth, the famous speech which talks about the futility of life, and that no matter what you do, it pretty much all leads to the same end. In this book, Marx, who is one of the most endearing characters, he says, and I'll quote, what is a game, Marx said? It's tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow. It's the possibility of infinite rebirth, infinite redemption. The idea that if you keep playing, you could win. No loss is permanent because nothing is permanent ever. Which I find interesting because so many things happen in our lives. We lose people, we make mistakes, we take a turn, and we wish that we could go back and have another go. Games enables you to do that again and again and again. And I think the characters in this book wish that they had the freedom that games give you. This book is also about how you create something, the work process, in this case of making games. Sadie Green and her childhood friend Sam Masood, they make a video game together, and that game, which is called Ichigo, becomes legendary, and their company becomes very, very successful and very famous. And in an interview many years later, Sam actually says, and I will find that quote here, that to allow yourself to play with another person is no small risk. It means allowing yourself to be open, to be exposed, to be hurt. It's intimate. Sam and Sadie, who are the main characters, play together, they design together, they love each other, but not in a traditional romantic way. I loved it because it's not, essentially that. It's not a traditional romance, but rather it explores more interesting dynamics of collaboration and friendship between the 2 protagonists. And there's a part in the book actually which says, what is love in the end? And a character in a game says, it's the irrational desire to put evolutionary competitiveness aside in order to ease someone else's journey through life. That's what love is. There are actually lots of wonderful quotes in this book, and I could read some of them to you. At one point, Sadie asks, how do you get over failure? And Dove, who is her mentor, says, I think you mean a public failure. You go back to work. You take advantage of the quiet time that a failure allows you. You remind yourself that no one is paying attention to you, and it's a perfect time for you to sit down in front of your computer and make another game. You try again. You fail better. And I think that really spoke to me also as an actor when our films come out and you get public reviews, and some of them are not good, but you have to get up and move on. And this, I think, will resonate with a lot of people out there as well who work in a more public arena. Sadie says, if you're always aiming for perfection, you won't make anything at all, which is so true. I think sometimes we are paralyzed by the search for perfection. We want to make something that is beautiful, and it's also in relationships. Sometimes we want something that is perfect in our partner, and we don't find it because I wonder if perfection really exists. And I like that this book points to the fact that don't let the search for perfection hold you back, which is actually what holds back the main characters through a large part of this book, until they finally realize, and that comes with a certain amount of maturity, that it's all right not to be perfect. The idea is to work and to move ahead. And that applies not only to professional life, but also, I think, to your personal lives and in your search for the perfect partner who may not exist. So this was my really, really wonderful, enjoyable summer read, and I plan to read more, and I will share those with you as well. But if you are looking for something to read next, I cannot recommend this more. tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow. Do pick it up and let me know what you think.